Okay, so today we'll concentrate on PLSQL packages as well as bulk concepts. Okay, so let's go through slide once.
Hmm.
So what does a package is all about? Package is a grouping of subprograms. So in our PLSQL, subprogram is nothing but a procedure or a function. Okay, or
Yes,
they may be
yes,
called as
yes.
stored program also. And package consists of two particular parts. One is specification, and another one is body. Okay, so in
Hmm.
the specification, you'll just mention what is the name of your subprogram, what are the input parameters, and what are the output parameters. In the package body, you'll provide the implementation of it. So maybe if you are aware of C language, so what we do is generally first of all, like you'll declare a function and then you'll define the function. So
Yes.
declaration is just a part of telling what is the name, what are the parameters. Definition is nothing but the implementation of that particular logic. Okay. So
Yeah.
in the package, that's what it is. It will have two parts. Package on its own doesn't have any functionality at all. It's just only a logical grouping of programs. Okay.
Yes.
And yeah, and the specification and body, they are stored separately. I mean to say, when you say all underscore object or all underscore source, you have the content for so specification as well as body separately, because the object type is package, what you say, package specification and package body.
Yes.
And whatever you declare in the specification has to be implemented in the package body. Okay, but
Yes.
vice
Yes.
versa, vice versa is not true. Nothing but, let us say, if you have declared something in a package body, it doesn't need to be available in the package specification. And generally we call them as private content. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, only
Yeah.
those things which you want them to be invoked by third party, then you need to, then those particular functionalities has to be available in the specification also. I mean to say, whatever the procedure or function, if at all, if you want that to be invoked by third party system, then when I say third party system, it can be within the Oracle EBS or it can be an external system also. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
so how do we start creating a package? So to create a package specification or a body, we require a DDL command, create package. Okay,
Yes.
for package body, you have to mention create package body. And here one more thing is, like, when you just, let us say, when you create your component, even like we have already observed in our specification or body, when you perform the compilation of a program, what was happening, the actual source code is available in your metadata tables. The actual source code is available in the metadata tables, isn't it?
Yes.
So generally what happens is, like, if you remember, like, some time back we discussed, right, like, your source code will get into compiled code, and that compiled code will be executed by the runtime engine. Here also, actually,
Yes.
whatever the code which we write in a PL/SQL, that will be converted into intermediate code, and we call it as P code. Okay, PL/SQL code.
Okay.
That PL/SQL code will get executed by the runtime engine.
Okay.
Okay, and
Hmm.
next thing is, yeah. So this is a syntax for specification. Create or replace package specification name is, or as, you can either use is keyword or as keyword. Then need to mention your public declaration of your data types. We can also declare data types, as well as we need to mention the subprogram specification. Nothing but procedure or a function.
Yeah.
And this is one of the example here. If you see create or replace package, and package name is operation, and the temp number, so it's a variable name followed by data type, and it's a function called raise to, and there are two variables, and the return data type is number. Okay,
Yeah.
and whenever you declare any variable inside the specification, we generally call them as global variables,
Okay.
because they can be available by any method in your given package.
Yeah. Yes.
And coming to package body, the only difference is you need to mention create or replace package and followed by
Body.
body. And then
Body.
here you have to
Yes.
define them. Here we have to define them.
Yes.
Okay. So this is syntax for the
Yes.
package
Yes.
body. And
Hmm.
yeah. So if at all, if you have a function inside a package, that can be invoked in your select query. Only thing is, if you have something inside a particular package, you have to mention your package name dot method name. Then only it will work.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you want to drop a package, just need to mention drop package name. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And okay, there's some examples you can. I mean, there's some theoretical stuff you can go through them. Let us see a few basic samples. Then we can discuss again. So what we do is like write a program to validate org ID. Okay, we just want to create
Mm.
a simple function to validate the org ID,
All right.
or maybe like let's say org code. If the org code is a valid one, it has to return Y, else it has to return N. Okay.
Okay.
Now in this one, we just want to go with a package approach. So what we do? So first of all, let me create. So let's say PLSQL package. Okay.
Hmm.
Underscore spec dot SQL. This is my specification. And the same way, I'll create one more sheet. And I'll just say body.
Package body. Yeah.
Yeah. So now let's mention create or replace package is end. Okay. Just skeleton. Now mention the method name function validate org code. And I'll just pass org code, which is varchar, and return also varchar. Okay.
So whenever we are writing package specification or body packages, then first we have to write package specification.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. First of all, until unless you know the skeleton, how can you implement, right?
Yes. Yes.
That's the reason you have to write specification first.
First specification. Okay.
Mm. Okay. Got compiled.
Yeah. Yeah. Got compiled.
Now,
Validate target.
yeah. So now this is my package body. So it's almost similar. Only thing is just need to implement is begin and end. And also here mention the keyword body.
Body. Yes.
And always whenever you write any method, always have your names of your like generally when you mention end block name, it doesn't need to mention the block name, nothing but your program name. But it is better. It's a good practice to mention your particular method name
Yeah.
whenever you end the program.
Program. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Is
V
yeah.
underscore. So here when we say our code, generally like we are considering the inventory organization. Okay.
Yes.
So we have this particular things, right? Generally the confusion is whether when you say org, it can be your operating unit or maybe the inventory org also. So better have a clarity on that. So in this case, I would like to validate the inventory organization code. So do you know what is different? What is the difference between inventory org and the norm operating unit?
Inventory organ operating unit, right?
Yeah.
OD. Yeah. OD. Operating unit like for every operating unit there will be organization units.
For every operating unit.
There For there, for every operating unit, there will be a set of organization units, like organization codes.
Mm-hmm. So do you know the Oracle e-business structure, logical structure, how you generally go through it?
Yeah.
Do you know or not?
Like which one? The starting one which you have told me, that one?
I don't remember we discussed. Do you know what is legal entity, ledger, all these things? Or
No, no, I don't know that.
okay, we'll discuss.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just want to validate a simple write a very simple query. Now, so
Okay.
from here, I'll just return if it is one, I will return y, else I'll return
Hmm.
n. That's it. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
right. So now it's a valid one. Let us say if I just pass some junk one, it has to return n. That's it. So this is my query.
Okay.
So now this one I'll try to use in my PLSQL logic. So decode, and I'll just use here into, and here I'll just
Wait.
pass the hard code. Instead of hard coding it, I'll just pass the runtime value. Return v underscore return. That's it. And here there is no chance of exception because always this will return a value, right? And we have
Hmm.
to make sure that in the worst case there is a chance of exception also. Generally here we are considering varchar, right? So there is no chance, even if you pass number also it will work, but vice versa will not work. If you declare number and if you are passing varchar, it will fail, it will give an exception. But if you are already having a varchar, if you're passing number, it will not give an exception. Okay, anyways,
Okay.
let's compile.
Hmm.
So this it now it just package body compile, and the next thing is try
Yes.
to validate from the database. Try to validate how many components it got created. So
Yes.
let's start from
Your object.
right. We have to get two records. One is for the specification, another one is a package body.
Package body.
So object
Yes.
type is package for specification, and object type is package body for the package body. Okay.
Yes.
So there are two records here, and always make sure that the status is valid. So sometimes what happens is, let us say you have a package body and the table which you used in your package got dropped, or maybe they have modified the table, then your package will automatically become invalid. So you always need to revalidate, nothing but recompile it.
Yes.
Okay. This thing in general happens in most of the situations. Okay.
Okay. And the
Now
status should be valid.
your state should be valid. Now it got compiled, and what is the next? So we'll just try to invoke it. Select, yeah, validate our code. I'll just say v1 from GL. Right?
Yeah, it's no.
Okay. Now let us say, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like in the above query,
Mm-hmm.
as you are giving, as we are passing hard code, like we can give a as a parameter also, right?
Where? Here.
Yes.
Yeah, you can give.
In that scenario, it should accept. Okay.
You just pass like this.
Uh, okay.
Pass the value now.
Yeah. Same, same as a parameter in the body also we can pass it, right?
We are passing a parameter, right? Did you see it? We're passing. I mentioned the parameter name.
Yeah. Yes. 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 I haven't seen. Yeah. Actually, the laptop today is.
Okay.
Yeah. Not screen is perfect now.
Okay. Yeah. So this is one of the way where we can declare a function inside a procedure, inside a package. The same way we can, like do a procedure also. Let us do one simple validation of a procedure. What we do is
Yeah.
copy the I copy the ledger, like a ledger details from one table to another table. Okay. What we do is we just
Oh,
want to copy the ledger, all the ledger information in the system into one of the other table. Okay. So there are a number of ways of doing it. So what we do is first of all, let's try to create a table. So I'll just create a table.
okay.
Create table. Okay.
Yeah.
Ledger ID number and ledger name. Okay.
Okay.
I just want to create a simple procedure to copy the data from one table to another table. That's it. So
Okay.
now here I'll just declare a procedure. Copy ledger data. Okay. No parameters.
No parameter. Procedure created. In package body we are mentioning is begin. End with procedure name.
Yeah. Now here
Yes.
there are different ways of doing it. Either you can declare a explicit cursor or you can simply use a for loop, right?
For loop. Oh yes.
And even you can prefer to use the bulk collect concept. Okay.
Yes.
So I'll just say for record in select star from GL ledgers loop and loop. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Insert into values rec dot ledger ID rec dot name. Okay. That's it. And
Yes.
finally commit.
Commit. Yeah. Commit is should. Yeah.
Now first
Then
compile
commit.
specification always. Now then recompile the package body. Right? It got compiled. And now what we can do?
Both are F5.
Yeah, F5. F5,
Yeah.
F9 both will work.
Okay. Right now.
Control spacebar generally should list down all the methods which are available in a package, but sometimes it will not
Hmm.
list.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Even I tried, but it's not
it,
working. Yeah.
it works, but sometimes. Okay, got compiled. Now check the
Yeah.
data and
Compile.
check the data in the temporary table in this particular table, right?
Yes. Oh. And here,
Hmm.
so all ledger names came, right?
Mm-hmm.
Only
Yeah.
the vision one, only the vision it came. Any other operating unit other than that? Like,
No, it's not specific to vision. And whatever we have in our table, it retrieve everything. Vision will be there by default, right? So
so it depends on user.
it depends upon EDB's installation, right?
Okay.
Now here I got other things, right? DPK,
Yeah.
RGA, all these things. REL, something like that. All practiced stuff. It's a training instance, right? So you'll find a lot number of different names.
Yeah. Yeah. Got
Right?
it. Yes. Yes. Depends on the instance only.
Data reporting ledger, data secondary ledger, test ledger,
Yeah.
TTS.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we just designed a very simple program to copy the data from one table to another table. So in our case, if you observe, we just have only how many data? How much data? Just 250 rows. So because we have
Heroes.
the data of 250 rows, generally it doesn't take much time. What we do is we'll try to use the bulk concept for the purpose of bulk collect and bulk insert now. So what I will do is now
Yes.
this time I'll try to use we'll try to use a different table which is having huge data. Let us see how much
Yes.
data we have in our purchase order.
Yeah. So purchase orders.
Very small. I'll try to use other one. This should be very huge. Yeah, this should be huge. Huge.
General balances. GL balances. This is the most base table for the GL ledgers, right?
Yeah.
General ledger.
Mm, yeah.
Set up books. Yesterday I got the issue. I have solved the issues.
Which one?
All everything.
Acha, how?
Through Metalink only I have seen.
Okay. Now here this particular table is having 96 lakh records, right? 96 lakh 18,200.
100 record. Yes.
Okay. Now let us concentrate on only 1 lakh records rather than all the data. We'll just try to concentrate only on the 1 lakh records. Maybe we can take a particular year and we'll try to just
Yes.
check it out how many records we have in a particular year. Period underscore year, right? Yeah, period underscore
Yeah.
year. Where period underscore
2000. 2000.
let's see if it reaches 1 lakh. We'll try to target only this data. Okay. And
Okay.
now we need to make sure that our program finishes within 1 or 2 minutes.
Yes.
So, and we can also try without using bulk and with bulk. We can easily understand that.
Oh, yes.
How many records are there?
2
2
lakhs.
lakhs. 2 lakhs. So I can try to use only 1 year then. 92,000. Okay, this should be fine. 2002 data. We'll try to do it. Okay.
Validate.
And we'll try to check what columns we want. We don't want to copy all the columns. Maybe we can take ledger ID balances, some set of columns. So I'll just say create table XXIF GL balance, ledger ID,
Yeah.
number, CCID, number, period name,
Validate.
currency code,
Set of book ID also.
ledger ID.
Yeah.
Let
Acha, ledger ID. Yeah.
one amount column will take it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just take
Period num also is there. Yeah. Amount.
okay.
Yeah. Debitor. Yes.
This is my table.
Yeah.
Okay.
How can we do this one? Like when we are copying all, everything will be copied, right? In
Yeah.
Notepad plus plus.
Yeah, that is a specialty of Notepad plus plus. We need to use Control Shift plus.
Control Shift plus. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, there is some. Okay, code underscore combination ID.
Yeah. Code combination ID. Code underscore combination ID.
Yeah, good. So query is done, right?
Good.
So now here,
Yes.
yeah. So now I'll show you. You have this data, right?
Hmm.
Now you want to place comma on each and every line. What you do? What you do is Control Alt
Con-
and your Control Alt and your mouse left cursor.
Control Alt and mouse left cursor. Okay.
Select the area and write whatever you want. That's it.
Achha.
Now here, let us say here also I want to have it. Then simply place this one.
Hmm.
That's it.
So, yes. Yes. Thank you.
And this is my query now. Okay. So using
Hmm.
bulk thing, we have to do it now. Okay. So
Yes.
first of
Yeah.
all, try to design a cursor for this one. Then later on, we'll try to do the remaining part. So I'll just take this query. Always when you're writing PL/SQL, first of all, write your SQL procedure, SQL query properly. Okay.
Yes.
Procedure, copy GL data.
Yeah, our table was that only. Procedure was that only. Yeah. Body. Cursor name is select star.
Okay. Now we just got this
Yes.
one. And here what we have to do, we need to declare a particular record variable which can hold n number of records, right? So I'll show you the syntax of yesterday,
Hmm.
like which we discussed. First thing is bulk collect. Let us try to finish the bulk collect,
Yes.
right? So in the bulk collect, what are we doing? So we need to declare a data type of variable of a row type. Can you see? We just need to declare
Yeah.
here table of means nothing but array of rows. We need to declare a
Row.
variable which can hold array of rows. Now what I have to do? Very simple. So declare a variable data type. So I'll just say local variable gl data. Okay,
Hmm.
gl data
Yes.
underscore dt is table of, right? Yeah, is table of what is table of, you can mention record. You can mention, like you need to declare another variable which will have a record data type, and then you can mention that. So in my case, what I can do is
Yes.
I prefer to do this way. What is my table name? This one. I'll just mention this one.
Yes.
Percentile row type. Why I'm not using GL ledgers? Because GL balances is having around 15 columns. I don't, in my table I want to store only 4 columns. What is the need of taking other columns, right? So that's the reason I just
Yes. Yes.
declare a variable of data type which is table of this one. That's it.
Yes.
And now, so I will not implement fully now. Just do the partial portion now. So when you're writing very complex logic, always try to do in a partial way of compilation,
Yes.
right? No errors now. It got compiled. So nothing but my declaration part is okay. I just declared a
Okay.
variable of this particular data type, and then now declare now lgl data array lgl data dt. That's it, right? Correct? Or maybe you can see the syntax. I declared, can you see? EMP record
Yes.
of this data type. That's it. And then
Yes. Yes.
simply,
Variable.
yeah, simply design your cursor, open the cursor and fetch
Bulk color.
bulk collect into limit. That's it. So here in this case, we have to use basic loop only. The normal for loop will not work.
Yes.
Okay, that's the reason in some scenarios even you have to use the basic loop.
Yes.
Now open cursor loop end loop. First of all, mention the cursor name. Open open this loop. Okay, so when you mention
Yes.
open followed by a cursor name, what happens? The data is the query will get executed, and the cursor will have all the data. And then what you have to do in the loop, inside the loop, fetch
Fetch the
fetch
data
bulk collect into
into
our variable name.
variable name.
And the number of variables and data types, everything has to match. Then only it will work.
LG data. Yeah, this is our variable name.
Which fetch bulk collect into this one and followed by limit size you have to mention. So
Yes.
so mention limit as 500. If you're having huge data, you can mention 5,000. That's a better thing. In our case, we have
Okay.
90,000 records, right? So better mention 5,000.
5,000. Okay.
Yeah. So now this particular GL data will have all the data, right? And perform this
Yes.
until unless you exit. Exit when c under GL data. That's it. So what I will do is, as of now, I'll just mention only the size. I don't want to display all the data. I just want to check the count. L underscore count number.
Yes. 1 second.
Okay, so I think it may be size, I guess.
Hello. Something is it?
61
What?
size. It's
Column.
length, size. What we have used? We use length, size, and yesterday we tried.
Count.
Okay, count.
Statement ignored. Identifier must be declared. Count must be declared
Hey,
same.
this is wrong, right? This name is wrong. Okay, perfect. Okay.
Now instead of count, once use size also. Whether it's working or not, could we see that also?
No, size is not working.
To count only better one.
Yeah. Okay, count is done.
Hmm.
And next, let's try to execute.
It's not coming.
Not working.
Mhm. Basically, in OF, in JDeveloper, it will be working, right?
Yeah, it has to.
Controls.
Yeah,
It has to be.
without that, we can't even remember anything, right?
There are the many functionalities in there in OF.
Hmm. Okay. See now how much time it is taking. Observe here. Of course, we'll try to display the time, then we can easily understand.
Understand? Yes.
Maybe it will take at least 2 minutes, I guess. 10:08 we ran, and
5,000 we said, right? Records limit.
it's a fetching limit. The total is 1 lakh, right?
1 lakh, yeah, 92,000 change.
So what we can do is for each fetch, let us have the calculation. Then we can easily understand that like how much time it is taking to fetch 5,000 records.
Yes, yes. That will be very good.
And one more problem in the SQL developer is, let us say if you ran some program and if it is taking huge amount of time, and if you try to stop the session, generally like what happens is it will not stop it suddenly, and it still runs in the background. So that's the reason why what you do is when you are trying to run something which takes huge amount of time, better you stop there, wait for that to close it, or try to run for smaller chunks of amount. That's the best thing.
Okay.
So now here it just took 2 minutes, right?
Yes.
Array size now it's just telling only 4,602.
For the yeah.
Uh, Something wrong, right? So what is happening is, I'll tell you. Very simple. You understand why it is 4,602?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'll give a clue now. Just observe this one. So what was the query which
Okay.
we ran? We ran this query, right? Select star from this one.
Yeah. Yes.
Count of star. Okay, not.
185.
So
Not if.
last fetch. What I was trying to do was, if the last fetch is at a time, it has to fetch 5,000, right?
Yes.
So okay, that's what. Can you see? Can you see now?
Yes.
If you
Six
if
zero.
the last fetch is nothing but 4,602, right? The last fetch size is
Yeah.
4,602. So whenever it is copying the data into your array, it always clears the existing data.
Okay.
That's the reason. So if you want to make the data copy, then what you have to do, you have to copy into another table. Then only it will be available, because you're replacing the array, right? So whenever you're performing fetch,
Yes.
what happens is it will clear this array.
Yes.
So this particular array is getting cleared every time. This particular one, LGL data array variable, is getting cleared every time whenever it is fetching. Simple.
Yeah.
So that's the reason it displayed 4602, nothing but the last fetching. Okay.
Yes.
Now what we do is we'll try to display timestamp.
Yes.
EBMS underscore output dot underscore line sys timestamp. This is one of the very important concept, very important concept, which you will be using very frequently throughout PLSQL career.
Okay.
Okay, observe carefully. So that's the reason I don't want to go in a very faster manner. It's no use actually. So let us understand this again. Now
Yes.
I mentioned this one, and you want to, let us say, we can display this count also now. Every time, let us say, once you fetch it, observe what happens is, observe what happens here. Yeah, compile, compiled.
Well,
Now execute.
anonymous block completed. Again, it takes 2 minutes.
Yeah, it will take 2 minutes.
Yes.
10:13, right? 10:15 it will finish. So when you have huge data, very simple. Nobody should suggest that. You just need to go with bulk collect. That's it.
Yes.
If you just have 10,000, that's okay. But if it is greater than, I mean to say, like, let us say if it reaches 40,000 or something, better you have to go with bulk collect concept. And
Bulk
even
collect.
and
Yes.
even when you're trying to design a report which will have huge data, go with bulk collect.
Bulk collect only. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So what is my suggestion is, if it is greater than 10,000, yeah, bulk collect should be the logic you have to use. Now, yeah, observe here.
Yes.
Okay. Now array size 5,000. So nothing but this is a first fetch, right? This is a first fetch.
Yes. First fetch. Yes.
So here minute is 10, minute is 11, seconds is, I'm not considering this millisecond now, but you can just consider the minutes. 10,
Minutes.
11,
11.
11, then it went 12, then it went to 13, then 14, and 15, 16, 17. Oh, sorry, this is seconds,
19.
right? Hey, boss, this is seconds, right? How about
Sorry.
minutes and seconds?
Yeah, this one is there.
Yeah,
This one, yeah.
yeah, this is
Two,
minutes.
two.
Yeah, two, 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 two,
Again,
and
3 will be coming. 60 hours. Yeah, 3 will be coming. See now. See.
yeah, right, yeah, correct, right? This seems
Yes,
this
14.
time seems a different one actually. Compared to my system time, the database time is quite less, I guess. Maybe 10 minutes less, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Few. Yeah, yeah.
Now this is the reason. Can you see? Every time the size was 5,000, but at last it became to 4,602, because the last fetch was only 4,600 rows. Now we are able to we fetch the data now, but how do we copy, right? Generally, let us say you want to
Yes.
copy the bulk data from one system to another system.
Mm.
One table
Yes.
to another table, how to do it? So as of now, we just bulk collected the data, and then what we have to do, we need to copy the data from this table to another table, right? That's what our target was. So the first
Yes.
operation was done. So here what you have to do, so here, so first,
Sorry.
so here, yeah, for rig in l underscore gl underscore data underscore array, sorry, for rig in,
Mm. Mm.
right, one
Yeah.
dot
Yeah, correct.
count
Yeah, left count
row
of.
and loop, right?
Okay. Yes.
Insert into, what is the table?
GL. This one. Yeah. XXF. GL val.
Right?
Okay.
L underscore gl data underscore. array of something is wrong.
Only
No, 1 minute.
spaces.
Okay,
Hmm.
correct.
Here, insert into our table base. I mean, like custom table dot or space.
I'm trying to insert total record by record at a time. I can do this way also.
Okay, okay,
Otherwise, you
okay.
need to mention all the column names one by one. This is another way of
Yeah.
this is another syntax.
Okay. Right. Right.
Got some issue. I think values I need to mention.
That's what I was telling.
No, yeah, values. That's it, right? Values followed by your variable name. Array variable.
Variable name. Yeah. Yes. Correct. No.
Now we can mention commit. Okay.
Yes.
Compile. Now try to execute again.
Same time to take.
So now the final table should have the that 90 is record. It's 92,000 something, right? That number
Yeah.
of records.
Yeah. Came.
Mhm. Okay. So now what we do? Let us see whether we have the data or not. Right?
92,000.
92,500. What happened to the last one?
Six
Hey,
not two.
it is not 92,000, right? 9,25,000. It is 9,25,000, not 92.
25,000. No. Yeah. 9,25,000 only.
Oh God. Okay. Just check this.
One see. One check this.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
90.
9,29,602.
Oh my God. 9 lakhs. Okay. Okay.
That's why taking time, right?
Yeah, 2 minutes. Yeah.
If you have taken 1 lakh, it won't
Generally,
take
yeah,
more much time.
30 seconds.
30 seconds also it won't take. Yeah.
Okay. So, but still, the bug is we have missed the last fetch, right? The last fetch was missed.
Yes.
So logically, that a
Yes.
very small mistake is there.
Mhm.
Mm, what happened here? So when it reached last fetch, it was not having data. Then it went off. But observe the last fetch here.
Mhm. And the last page it's happening in that only. See 4602.
4602 came. When 4602 came, and this array is having data, why it did not insert? What is the bug here? Because the recent fetch, it has data, right? It has data. Then it fetches that number of records.
Records,
Hmm.
but it's not capturing this data.
Okay. There is some mistake here. Okay. There is some mistake at this
Okay.
place. What we can do is, I'll try to see that. But as of now, no, this is not wrong. Uh, the last fetch was missed. Okay, I'll try to look into it, but yeah, this is how they can try to use the bulk collect concept. So we just bulk collect the data and then insert the data into another table using this way. Okay, this is
Okay.
one way. There's another syntax also for bulk insert. Now here you're trying to insert 5,000 records, right? So there is another way of inserting. So let me show you that. Can you see bulk
Yes.
insert?
Yeah.
You can simply use this particular logic for all.
So for all.
Yeah, simply use for all.
Okay.
Okay, everything is same, but only thing is you just need to use. I'll try to comment this one.
Yeah. For all we will use here now.
For all, no space, I guess. For all,
Yeah. No space.
for all I in same thing.
Count insert into table name values same rate.
That's it. Single command. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Compiled.
So here, if you see, I use the exit condition after the for all.
For all.
Okay, I think that should solve my
Yeah.
issue. This issue also. Our
Yes.
our last fetch issue.
Yes.
And also already we have the data in that, right? So we already have the data in our temporary table. So what we can do is we can try to delete it.
Yes. You can
Okay.
delete
Yeah. Trunk.
table. Table.
And also when you're trying to delete the data, always be very careful, because once you delete the data, if you use trunk, you cannot roll back, right? If it's a delete statement, you can
Yes.
roll back, but if it's a trunk, you cannot
Roll
roll
back.
back. So
Yes.
yeah, so if something if which you're not aware, use this deletion very cautiously.
Yes. Most probably real time we will there will be a restriction for those commands, right?
If you're apps user, what restriction you have?
Yeah.
For apps user,
Can't.
there is no restriction, right?
Yes, yes.
That's a problem. Completed? Yeah. Can you see now it got fast, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So it started at 10:13 and just see. It finished within 10:13 only, in 1 minute.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yes.
And see the last record also, whether it has that or not.
406602. Yeah.
Right? Got it?
Yes. Got it. So that was a condition where you have been placing exit
Yeah,
condition.
yeah, that fetch was the issue. Fetch condition was the issue. Yeah, exit condition was the issue.
Hmm.
Okay, clear?
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes. Clear.
the same example you can use in any interface. This is what we generally use in the interfaces.
Okay.
Getting the data, validating each record, copying data into one other table, or maybe calling some concurrent program. This is what we would be doing.
Uh-huh. What I do when sorry to interrupt you. Sorry.
Hmm.
Like how I write the validations.
Mhm.
Uh, Declare begin. I'll separate. I wrote for like for line type, item description, item, UAM, separate. I write the validation. When I get the data, I'll put in the procedure,
Mhm.
one main procedure,
Mhm.
and I'll compile total procedure.
See, let us say you have a record and there are 10 columns, and each column requires some validation. What you can do is, it depends, like some developers prefer to write 10 functions and call that function every time, or some other developers,
Yeah.
what they do is they'll just write the implicit cursor and they just have the count. If count is equal to 0, issue. If count greater than 0, no error, something like that.
No.
So
Yeah.
either way is fine.
It depends on developers.
Yes. Or your coding standards, there'll be a number of things, right? And when you get an error, sometimes they call the error log table, insert the log into some
Yeah.
one table, so that like a business user should know that why it got error out, what is the reason for that. Right?
Yes.
So error logging mechanism in the interface is very much important. We always need to understand. We always need to provide some information to the business user, saying that why this particular record got errored out, what is the reason. For a developer also need to trace it, right? Let us say they say that we have inserted some data, why they were not inserted. How do you know it? Until unless you have some error log mechanism, you can't validate your data.
Yes.
Whether they say it or not, have your logging mechanism, for error purpose.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now the final
Yeah.
thing in the bulk is like, how do you delete it? Now, as of now, let us say, if your requirement is always insert the data into table, and the next day delete the data, existing data, and insert new data into that, something like that. So then what you have to do, you
Yeah.
need to use a bulk delete also. So for bulk insert, bulk update, bulk collect, and do you see bulk delete? How do you delete bulk? If it's a bulk delete, I can just simply use truncate, right? Exec immediate trunk, that's it.
Yes.
Mm, for all I can try to use delete here. See, in the bulk insert, instead of this one, I can just
Okay.
perform delete. I can perform delete. But instead of using all these particular things, we can simply use execute immediate trunk. So
Yeah.
the best thing is, now if your requirement is to, let us say if you try to run the same program again, what will happen? The same data will get copied again, right? Nothing but it will become 18 lakhs now.
Yeah.
Okay. What you can do, let us say if
Yeah.
your requirement is something like this, execute immediate, mention this. That's it.
Okay.
This way. So trunk is always faster than delete, and
Delete.
trunk is
Yes.
auto commit, and it will also releases a memory at a stretch generally.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
Table
one.
structure will be deleted.
So what do you mean by structure?
Like table structure will be deleted.
If table
There will be
structure,
no.
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Sorry.
You tell me first.
Did I told anything wrong?
No, no, no. Go ahead, boss. Telling wrong is not a not a culprit.
No. If we are using trunk,
Hmm.
there will be no data in that.
Yeah.
Permanently, the data will be deleted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. And what? Even if I use delete, the same thing will happen, right? What is the difference?
In trunk we cannot roll back. We cannot get the data back. In delete we can get the data back.
And any other difference? Either any other difference other than this?
As I like no in trunk we will not having the structure. Structure will be deleted.
Yeah. What do you mean by structure? That is what my question. What do you mean by structure?
Now if we have deleted one, mm,
See, like when you say structure, if you
hmm,
consider structure as the definition of your table, nothing but if your table gets deleted,
hmm,
if your table gets deleted, then nothing but you're deleting an object, right? Which is not we want. We want to delete the data, not
yeah,
the object,
not the object. Yes.
right? So it is not about
Yeah.
structure. So
Yeah.
truncate will free the memory also. Truncate will free the memory
Yes. Yes.
also. Delete by default
Yes.
will not free the memory. So there is a concept behind it, because even we faced this issue recently. I'll tell you. Just go through Metallic and try to find out
Okay.
why does delete will not free the memory. Search for this,
Okay.
and also
Sure.
search for concept called shrink in Oracle database.
Okay.
You'll get it. Okay. That's the reason.
Okay, I'll study this.
That's the reason if you're trying to delete very huge data, use truncate, not delete. If it's a very smaller data which is in thousands, then you can go with a delete. But if it's a lakhs record, best to go with a truncate.
Yes.
And when we work with the
Yeah.
interface, we prefer to use truncate only.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Now in this one, we just covered bulk collect, bulk insert, and even bulk delete also.
Yes.
The same concept you'll be using throughout your interfaces. Okay.
Okay.
Any other question?
Yeah, I'll go through this.
Yeah, I'll send you my EMP sample also because they are very basic samples. You can create your replicas for the same and try to work on them.
Yes.
Then you can later on you can try to implement your own stuff. And I have some
Yes.
documents which I designed for the PO interface and even supplier interface. I guess I have two documents for the interfaces, which is having the
Okay.
source code and all the everything like the data file and everything is there. Do you know SQL loader?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
SQL. Okay, fine. You can go through them if you want. I can send.
Oh, okay.
Um,
SQL loader. Once tell me the SQL loader. What you're asking?
Do you know SQL loader?
SQL loader in this, like, we will make a control file. That only you're telling?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Make me learn also about the control file also.
So
I
did
used
you
to like.
no? Did you work on it or not?
I have been seen one of the guy was working on that. That's it.
Okay,
I
you
didn't
never
work.
you never had any experience.
No. 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 I don't have.
Okay, we'll discuss in the next session then. What we do is like
Sure.
next week we'll start with the reports
Hmm.
and then we can work on the interfaces and the conversion all those things. Okay, we'll start with the
Sure. Sure.
reports first.
Yeah. We'll start with the reports. Yeah.
Okay, PL SQL time being parallelly practice the PL SQL first of all.
Yeah. If I have any doubts, I'll ask you in that sessions. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
So thank you so much.
Yeah, bye.